Welcome to the deep dive. We're plunging into a concept that's, well, as old as civilization itself, but always being reimagined, the trial.
Mm-hmm.
We usually think of trials, as these straightforward paths to truth, a clear process.
Right, a beginning, middle, end.
Yeah,
Justice is served.
exactly. But literature, from ancient Greece right up to today, it just loves to mess with that neat picture, doesn't it? Often showing us these hidden depths.
And when you talk about literary complications of justice,
Yeah.
well, Franz Kafka's The Trial is just an unparalleled example. It really stands out.
Absolutely.
So our deep dive today is drawing on some really illuminating excerpts from a fantastic introduction to this very enigmatic novel. It gives a fresh perspective on its many layers.
Right, and that's our mission today, really, to peel back those layers for you. We want to explore its surprising origins, the truly bizarre court Joseph K. gets tangled up with,
Yeah.
the enigmatic man himself, Joseph K., and crucially, why the story still hits so hard generation after generation. Okay, so let's unpack this and get ready, because there are some genuinely surprising facts about a book that's, well, it's baffled and enlightened millions.
We certainly will. We'll navigate this complex text together, sort of helping you find those aha moments, the things that help make sense of its enduring mystery, guiding you through the ambiguities and connecting you with its core themes.
Great. So maybe let's start by tracing how this whole idea of the trial has shifted in literature. You've got Aeschylus Oresteia, which is pretty foundational for justice.
Right, the origins.
Then Shakespeare, Measure for Measure, where the judge kind of gets judged himself.
Mm-hmm.
And Dickens in Bleak House, just savaging the legal system.
Oh, yeah, biting satire there.
And Dostoevsky, of course, digging into huge moral questions in The Brothers Karamazov. So writers keep pushing this idea of justice.
They absolutely do. And Kafka, building on all that, he really innovates in The Trial. You won't find, dramatic courtroom showdown.
They're Paramason moments.
No, none of that. Instead, his system is inquisitorial. That means the court itself investigates and judges. It's not the adversarial system we often see, two sides battling it out.
Which reflects his own background, right? He studied law.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He knew the continental system. And the key thing here is Joseph K. gets arrested, he's examined, hearings happen, but no formal charge is ever actually made against him.
That's wild.
It is. The legal organization is massive, impossible to grasp, and the trial just the source says it merges imperceptibly into the verdict.
Wow.
The real trial, it suggests, is elsewhere.
Elsewhere. That's a really stark contrast to our usual picture. But what I find just incredible is that this isn't just about abstract legal ideas. There's a deeply personal spark here.
Oh, definitely.
The main female character, Fräulein Bürstner, her initials, FB, are the same as Kafka's fiancée at the time, Felice Bauer.
Mm-hmm.
And Kafka, in his diary, he wrote about having these profound doubts about marriage. He even felt chained like a criminal at his own engagement party back in June 1914.
Yeah, he was clearly wrestling with commitment versus freedom intensely.
And the impact of that struggle on the novel was, well, it was almost immediate, wasn't it?
Astonishingly direct. Kafka had told Felice's friend, Greet Bloch, about his doubts. She then told Felice.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Understandably, Felice was furious. She basically summoned Kafka to what he himself called a court in a Berlin hotel, July 1914. Her sister was there. Greet Bloch was there.
So like a real-life interrogation.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it was right after that experience, that specific personal trial, that he started writing The Trial. He wrote the first and last chapters almost straight away.
No way.
Yes. And he envisioned Kay's execution as directly linked to his treatment of Fräulein Bürstner, her appearance right at the very end.
Uh-huh.
It just makes Kay's resistance seem completely pointless.
So the novel's whole structure, beginning and end, came directly from this personal crisis.
Exactly. Shaped by a deeply personal trial in his own life. It's quite something.
Wow, so he literally lived trial before he wrote it. That's just staggering. How does he manage to turn something so specific, so private, into a story that speaks to everyone about these big human problems, instead of just, a diary entry?
Well, that's the genius, isn't it?
Yeah.
He universalizes that personal anxiety. He doesn't just recount events. He translates the feeling, that feeling of being judged, watched, trapped. He translates it into this bigger metaphorical system. And that allows you, the reader, to kind of map your own experiences onto it. Feelings of powerlessness, dealing with faceless bureaucracies. It resonates way beyond Kafka's own life.
That makes sense. It connects the personal to the universal. Okay, that's a powerful look at the origins. Now, let's maybe shift gears and think about the man at the center of it all, Joseph K.
Right.
Because even if the origins are biographical, K himself, He isn't just Kafka, is he? He's more of a type.
Exactly. The modern professional man prioritizes work above everything, shoves his private life down.
He's got this important job at a bank, he's navigating office politics. But despite that status, he lives in a rented room. Not exactly the home you'd expect.
And when you dig into his private life, you really see how much is suppressed. His relationship with his landlady, it's complex. Suspicion, resentment, but also neediness, maybe even exploiting her a bit.
Yeah, it's messy.
And there's an unfinished chapter suggesting Kay hadn't visited his mother for 2 birthdays. Didn't seem bothered about her failing eyesight either.
Oof. So does that raise the question, is that his crime, neglecting his mother? Or is it something more generally flawed about him?
Well, that's the thing. Our source points out that the mother chapter was actually added very late in the writing process.
Oh, really?
Yeah, suggesting it might have been more of an afterthought, which kind of complicates the idea that there's one single specific crime we can pin down.
So Kay is desperately trying to fit this bizarre trial into his normal, logical work brain. But does that rigidity, that refusal to accept this alien reality actually make things worse? Is it part of his downfall?
Oh, absolutely. He just cannot accept the court as this alien thing that doesn't follow his rules. He tries so hard to cling to his familiar world. He even compares the trial to business, like a deal he could negotiate for the bank.
Thinking he can manage it like a work project.
Exactly. But he can't apply those strategies here. Remember the prison chaplain's warning. Can't you see even 2 steps in front of you?
Yeah, sure.
And you see the court just wearing him down. His pressure slowly breaks through his defenses. He starts thinking about suicide, has irrational outbursts, his work suffers.
He's unravel.
He completely unravels. All because he's facing this unseen, unquantifiable force that he just can't rationalize or control using his old methods. He can't adapt.
It really makes you think about how we often react, doesn't it? Trying to normalize the weird stuff, fit things into boxes, and maybe sometimes making it worse for ourselves instead of just acknowledging how disruptive something really is.
Precisely. It's a very human defense mechanism, but for Kay, it becomes a trap.
Okay, so as Kay's struggling, the court itself emerges as this really weird, paradoxical thing, almost like a distorted mirror of his own life.
Yeah, it's described as a parody, a projection, or a counterpart of his professional world.
It's got this baffling hierarchy, kind of like his bank.
Yeah.
And it's even got this weird hidden sexuality bubbling under the surface. Law books that turn out to be pornographic, the examining magistrate chasing women.
It's like his everyday reality got twisted into this grotesque, bureaucratic funhouse mirror, as you said.
Yeah, and its actual existence is so fuzzy, right? Sometimes it seems like it can read his mind or pull strings.
Definitely. Like him arriving exactly an hour and 5 minutes late for that hearing he was even properly told about. How did that happen?
Right, but then there are these hints that maybe he brings it into being somehow.
Yeah, that's intriguing. Like he rings for breakfast and suddenly the guards are there, or he insists there must be a large organization, and then there it is.
So it exists in these forgotten corners, attics, garrets.
Or even, as some interpretations suggest, maybe in the unconscious. Its reality is incredibly fluid, not fixed at all.
So Kay desperately looks for help, but the help he finds is just more absurdity, isn't it? More people trying to control him, not free him.
Exactly. Take Dr. Hold, the lawyer. He talks at a big game about contacts, but admits they don't really achieve anything.
And he actually encourages Kay just to accept it, right? Saying it's often better to be in chains than free.
Yes, it's chilling. And Hold's real power isn't in winning cases. It's in dominating his clients. Look at how he humiliates the poor corn merchant block, who's just completely devoted his life to his case.
It's a system designed purely to entrap.
Totally. And then you've got Tittarelli, the court painter. He tries to explain the options. Real acquittal.
Which Kay just dismisses as legend.
Right. Then apparent acquittal, you're free, but they can grab you again anytime.
Not much comfort there.
No. Or protraction, basically just delaying things forever. None of these are real solutions.
And his art reflects that too.
Yeah, his paintings of judges, they just followed the standard formula, not reality. The source even mentions Kafka's own skepticism about art finding truth, comparing it to a moth near a candle, wanting light but trying not to get burnt.
So even the potential helpers are just part of this maze.
Exactly, just more twists in the labyrinth.
And alongside all this, Kay's sexual appetite gets stirred up. He starts exploiting women, Fräulein Bürstner, the usher's wife, Lenny.
And it's presented in a really misogynistic way, drawing on ideas from the time, like Otto Weininger's theory about women being either mothers or whores.
Yeah, that's pretty bleak. And Lenny's hand, the webbed hand he calls a pretty claw.
Suggests something primitive, an evolutionary throwback. It definitely paints a dark picture of his character and interactions.
So how do his own internal issues, his biases, actually shape how the court appears to him? Does that connection get made?
It does. The source links Kay's behavior to Kafka's own admitted disgust with sexuality and his ascetic desire. He saw women in a kind of common misogynist way as projections of his own desires, dragging him down into repulsive material existence.
Wow.
And Linny, specifically, she urges Kay to just give in to the court. She's almost like a temptress, trying to pull him deeper under its spell.
So the women aren't separate from the court, they get tangled up in it. Sometimes they even seem to act for it.
Exactly. They reflect both his inner turmoil and the court's pervasive influence. It's all interconnected.
It's like his deepest anxieties, his unresolved stuff, just gets projected outwards, creating this reality that feels both external and deeply, eerily personal.
Precisely. The external court becomes an echo chamber for his internal state.
Okay, stepping back a bit.
Yeah.
This is clearly way more than just a straightforward legal story. It seems to connect to bigger ideas about law itself.
Absolutely. Kafka knew his law. He was familiar with German Kantian law, which really focused on the act itself, what did someone do? But he was trained under the Austrian legal code, which was different. It put more emphasis on evil intent, even the idea of guilt without illegality.
Guilt without actually breaking a specific law.
Sort of. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, the trial fits right in with that Austrian tradition, and also with criminology ideas that were current then.
Like Lombroso, the criminal type.
Exactly that. Or Hans Gross Kafka actually went to his lectures, who famously said, not the crime, but the criminal is the object of punishment.
So the court isn't looking for what Kay did.
It's looking for who Kay is. It's searching for a type of person, for some kind of innate guilt that goes beyond specific actions. Kay's guilt feels more like, well, a subjective state, an existential condition, not something concrete you can point to.
Which spirals things into the moral, the metaphysical.
For sure. Think about that exchange with the chaplain. Kay asks, how can anyone be guilty? We're all human.
And the priest replies, chillingly.
That is correct. But that's the way guilty people talk, implying that just being human, being flawed is a kind of guilt. Maybe like original sin, even.
Wow. And that figure on Tittarelli's chair, justice and victory, but she looks like a goddess of the hunt.
Yeah, anticipating Kafka's own aphorism about the hunting dogs and the prey never escaping. It feels vast, much bigger than just a human court.
Are there other connections, like to religious ideas?
Well, there are these tantalizing hints. Connections to Martin Buber talking about Psalm 82, maybe even Gnostic myths about, evil spirits running the world.
Okay.
But, and this is crucial, the novel deliberately doesn't give you a neat metaphysical system or clear doctrine or message. That's classic Kafka. Ambiguity.
He just hints, suggests.
Exactly. Hints, suggests, implies. Leaving the ultimate questions hanging there, unanswerable. It's not a puzzle with one solution. It's an experience you have to wrestle with.
And that ambiguity is really driven home by the way he tells the story, right? The monoperspectival narration.
Yes, exactly. We are stuck inside Kay's head, seeing early what he sees.
Which creates this intense feeling of being trapped, just like him.
It absolutely does. You share his limited understanding. But paradoxically, because we're only seeing his view, we can actually spot things he misses.
Like his ill-judged reactions, self-deceptions, faulty reasonings.
Precisely. We can see where he's going wrong, even if he can't. We even pick up clues in simple images, windows reflecting his dark thoughts, or that contrast between modern electric light and the court's old-fashioned candles.
Suggesting something ancient and oppressive lurking beneath the modern world.
Right. And this raises a really important question for you, listening. Kafka isn't just telling a story here. He's challenging you to get involved.
How so?
By holding back easy answers, he affirms what's called the freedom of the reader. Modernist writers like Kafka, they give you these difficult texts on purpose.
To make us work for it.
To stimulate your creative involvement, to push you to think against the grain, to see possibilities that Kay himself just cannot or will not see. The freedom Kay is denied is actually given to you, the interpreter.
That's a powerful idea, to embrace that ambiguity, not as frustrating, but as something that actually empowers us to think more deeply, to question more. It's an invitation to think critically.
Indeed. It's a text that definitely rewards your effort.
And that, everyone, is a glimpse into why the trial still has such enduring power. It's a novel that, yeah, it's ambiguous, but it offers these profound insights into power, bureaucracy, the human condition. It just never stops feeling relevant because it taps into something timeless about being human.
We've covered a lot of ground today. The deeply personal roots of Kay's trial.
Right, Flissbauer.
How justice can be incredibly complex, opaque, the individual fighting against a system they can't understand.
That mix of biography and fiction.
And ultimately, how Kafka's ambiguity actually liberates you, the reader, to find your own meaning in it all.
And it leaves us with a final, maybe provocative thought for you to consider. If Joseph K's ultimate crime or guilt is never actually named, what unacknowledged trials might we be facing in our own lives? Trials maybe not based on specific charges, but rooted in our character, our choices, or maybe just these unseen forces around us. And how might we respond differently than Kay did?
It really is an invitation. Pick up the trial, engage with it, wrestle with it, embrace its open-endedness, not as a problem, but as a real opportunity for your own reflection, your own critical thinking. It's waiting for you.